Hey everyone, it's David here. So right now I'm reading The 4 Hour Work Week, which is absolutely an incredible book. One of the themes that he talks about success in this book is asking uncomfortable questions and be willing to put yourself at risk. A lot of times in this business to get started, you have to ask uncomfortable questions. I love this call that came in and this question. It's a long one, but it's about how to get started in California. So I'm going to go ahead and play this. Do me a favor, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, you want to, go and subscribe now and give me a like, and I'll see you around. I'm not going to give an end. I'm just going to let you listen to this. And yeah, it's about a 10-minute, but she's asking a lot of questions about getting started in California, and I get these a lot. So go ahead and watch this and ask questions. It's what gets you going in this world. Thank you, and I'll see you on the next video.
Okay. Hi there. All right. So I have really basic questions. I'm trying to start off with California state funds because it seems to be the easiest one to begin, at least get my
Okay.
feet wet. Anyway, so I'm looking at the state investigator agreement, and
Okay, you're breaking up. I don't know if it's you or me.
I have a DBA right now. Can I use my DBA name instead of my personal name?
I would email that to the state and ask them that directly and ask them if you could do that, because I honestly do not. Is your DBA registered or no?
It is registered in Texas,
Okay,
in
I
Dallas.
would I would email the state. They're really good. They have the UPD email, and I would just say, hey, I'm doing this because you want the state to know who you are, and you want them to be aware of what the claims are coming in. I'd imagine they'd probably say yeah, but again, I want to make that you're protected there.
Okay, so when it comes to filling out this standard investigator agreement online, you fill out as much of it once you get the okay from the customer, the client that you're going to go through with it. You fill out as much of it as you can online, and then you print it off, and then the same with the claim form, and then you have a notary kind of tucked away, ready to go.
Yes, I was pulling this up as
Trying
we
to
were
see the
talking.
big picture, the steps.
So I go over this like pretty well in the course, but yeah, I mean it's just pretty basic. Their name goes in as claimant, your name, and then again you want to find out if you do your DBA, and this just types up really nicely. So you could put John Smith, and then you could change it with like the changes, the address reported at the time of the claim. So that's going to be the address, like whatever claim you had with that was reported at the state level. That's the claim, that's the address. And again, I go over this in the course like pretty detailed, so you could find, I show you an example because California is such a popular state. Then what I do is when I send it to them, I offer to send a notary out, and you're going to have to schedule a notary to meet them out. Actually, this form right here does not need to be notarized. This is the form between you and them, and you want to go. Now, you were on the phone when I was just talking to the first person I was talking to, which was a California deal. So if you didn't, that I'm filling out for her, and she's got several claims. So what I'm doing is I'm going on the back side here, and again, the owner's name, claim, reported by, type of account, amount, and then the property ID number. And then I put like an asterisk here and make sure that they initial this just so they know it needs to be initialed, okay, is what I do. But I don't know if this answers your question. The claimant, this is their name, the date that you go into agreement, their mailing address, which could be different than the address up here. This is the address that got reported to the state. So if you're looking up a state unclaimed fund, okay, this address right here that I'm showing you right now on Redondo Boulevard in Los Angeles goes right here. This address is their mailing address. And whoever you're in agreement with, let's say you're in agreement with John Smith's son and his name's Jake Smith. Jake goes up here, even though John Smith is the owner's name. This agreement is between you and Jake Smith. If he is the rightful heir, like the gal I was talking to in the very beginning, her name will go here, and my company name will go right here. So, and I'm going to use On Recover for this one. And then again, this is going to be all the information that goes here. I put an asterisk here. I put 10% here. I can't do any more. And then I make sure I sign this, and then I make sure she puts in all her information here. Her social security number has to go in here. She has to sign this, her email, mailing address, date, all that has to go there. And then any additional claims, and sometimes I do 2 or 3 sheets of these, and it's pretty nice. Does that answer your question on that though?
Yeah, I did see that that teaching that you did on there. I just wanted
And I don't
to
mind
under,
going over it again, but yeah, you're probably going to have to visit this again. So if you go into the course, if you when you log into the course, what program are you in?
the mastery.
Okay. So if you log in here, watch me not be able to log in, and you go
Yeah.
to surplus fund mastery, and you go to picking your state, and you come in here. I should have register in California, California contracts and forms. I have it right here, so you can always come back. And again, I don't mind going over this with you, but I do go over, and I should have a video in here too, of how to do this and how to fill it out, and what to do. So yeah, you can feel free to come in here and check that out in the course as well.
Okay, so so once you fill out all the online course as much as you can, you print it off and then you email that, plus you fill out the claim form as well as much as you can, and then you print that off and then you email it to the notary, and then the notary contacts the claimant and makes an appointment to meet so
So
that
this
the
is the form that
matters
needs
are
to be notarized.
signed.
So I have people that do this different ways. How I do it is how you just said. I show them to it in the email, and I have one guy in the program. He's very successful. He's put his own company header up here with the permission of California State. He's put his own header up here, but you have to get permission from California to be able to do that. And then what I do is I go ahead and I send the notary out to them, and I have them have the first paper I showed you, and then this I have them sign. I have this all filled out again. I type it in, and then I have the claimant sign and date it, and then they have to notarize it. If there's two claimants on there, husband and wife, they both have to sign it, notarize it, and then boom, Or if it's a limited power of attorney, you have or I'm sorry, power of attorney, you have them sign it as well, and then you get that back. So I send this with the notary to them. Now, what I've also seen done with people, and this has worked, is I have a gal in the program. I haven't talked to her in a while. Her name's Jen. She's posted tons of checks in the group. What she does is she talks to someone and she says, I see that you have a UPS store. You live on 123 Main Street. On 1500 Main Street, there's a UPS store. I went ahead and paid for the notary there. Can you stop by, sign this document, and this is on me, and then they'll send it from there. And she has all the mailing instructions from there, so they literally swing by, have it signed, and then mail it. Whichever one you do, that's a lot cheaper. That's only $15. Whatever you do, you have to have an action plan with your client. I have another client. Well, I have several people that use Craigslist, and they go on, they find a local notary, and they get it done. And it used to be 25 or $50. I can't imagine it's that cheap now. It's good with inflation, everything. It's probably going to cost you at least 50. But I have some people that will go to Craigslist and they'll find a notary there. And when you talk to your client, you want to say, is it better, like if I'm talking to a client today, is it better to have the notary contact you Wednesday morning or afternoon? And they're going to say afternoon. You don't want to say, can I have the notary call you? Because they're going to say, no, I'll look over the forms and get back to you. You want to have a plan of action, and you want to consistently flow with that plan of action. This one lady that I talked to on the phone today, I like her. She's a great lady. She's got $232,000. If you were on the first call and you listened to that, $232,000 that she has, and she doesn't know she has this. With that being said, I have to have an action plan for her to be able to collect this, because she's not collecting it without me. So it's been sitting there for quite some time, and she's not collected it yet. $232,000. I mean, if I had $232,000, I wouldn't just sit down and wait for someone to let me collect it. I would go ahead and be on the phone immediately and get that collected. So that's personally what I would do. So does that answer your question?
Well, actually, my computer froze and I didn't hear a lot.
Okay,
Um,
you have to have an action plan with your client, and you have to be able to take them through that action plan. Okay, is what I was saying.
okay, well, I was just trying to find out what my action plan would be, but I didn't know about the UPS store option. Do we have some kind of a contract arrangement with the notaries, like the mobile notaries? Do we
If
have
you
to
use
sign an
Notaries
agreement with them?
24/7, they'll have a contact for you that you can use. So Notaries 24/7, they'll have a contract, or the notary you use, they're gonna charge you before they send it out, and then usually they'll FedEx it out to you, and they'll want a pre-printed label, which I also go over in the course, how to do a pre-printed FedEx label and how to get that sent off to you if you don't know how to do that. I mean, it's basic, but sometimes it gets a little confusing. But typically what I'll do is I'll pre-print a FedEx label, send it to the notary, and then once I pay the notary, they send me all the documents in the mail.
So after the client signs all the documents and the notary gets the documents from the client, the supporting documents, they mail it all to you for you to review first, right? For
Correct.
you to yeah, to review it before you mail it off to the
And then
state.
I just had someone get paid off. Now, this was on a mortgage overage claim, and I just got someone paid off. And what I usually do, I didn't plan on getting all those guys, so I'll make a few more calls. I don't have much time after 11 today. It's been kind of busy, especially with this. I'll call them and I'll say, hey, thank you for your trust. I'm shredding this right now, and then boom, I'll put it in the shredder. And that way they're like, okay, wow, he just shredded my social security number and all that. And I have no personal information on them. I mean, it is stored in my computer, and I need to go through and delete that because I do have a file up there because I scan it, and then I let them know that, hey, I'm deleting this on the mortgage and tax overages. I do have a hard copy of everyone because I send those to my attorney, and then I get people paid directly. So it's pretty much the way it goes. So, and you'll have that system going, but yeah, they send it back to you. I keep a copy for my records. I send it to the state. Once I get paid, then I go ahead and I delete the file. And I call my client and I say, hey, I want to just thank you for your trust. I want to thank you for doing this. By the way, I'm deleting all your information. RN Recovery has no more personal information on you, so it's all deleted. And the person usually says, okay, wow, thank you, and I don't need the information, like I don't need to keep information in my office or anything like that. I mean, is it going to go anywhere? No, my office is locked and everything. But again, it makes people feel a little more safer and more secure. I mean, you look at my messy office anyway. So yeah.
Okay, yeah, I guess so. On the standard investigator agreement form, you don't put your you don't put
I
your own
don't. Once you
personal.
register for the state, you don't have to put your personal information down, and they don't require you to. It comes back to me, and so I use Arm Recovery, but I don't even have to put my EIN number.
Fill out that bottom part then?
So what I do is on the standard investigators agreement, what I do is I put RN Recovery, the date, the mailing address for RN Recovery, my email, my phone number, and my signature, and that's it. I don't even have to put anything else there.
When you register with the state, which I am just about to do because it doesn't take that long, they want to know your physical address and then your mailing address. Well, my physical address would be where I live, my personal residence, and then the mailing address would be the business address that I have for my business. So, do I need to put my physical address as my personal address, or can I put my
Is
mailing address?
your physical address on your driver's license?
Yes.
So they're going to have it anyway because they're going to want a copy of your driver's license. So I would use my physical address. And the state of California, they're not the most organized state. I mean, yeah, you get paid and it's nice because they pay you directly, but it's not the most organized bunch of people down there. But I would go ahead and just put they're not going to, I've never gotten any, I get mailers and I've never had one to my physical address, but I've had plenty to the company about, like I got one the other day saying a stock was going to get paid. I've got two. I'm waiting for $6,000, two checks of $3,000. I haven't received them, and that was probably about 6 to 7 weeks ago. So they should be arriving at any time now. But yeah, I would use my physical address and then my mailing address to answer that question.
Well,
Does that help out?
yeah, that helps for now. Thank you so
Okay,
much.
cool. Good luck. Pull the trigger. Go at it. I love the questions. People that ask questions do. Your next step, I challenge you, is to download the list, go through some leads, skip trace some, and then go ahead and make some contacts and work on getting a couple people paid. Maybe try a couple people and working on the paperwork for them first, because you probably know some people in California, and you could probably get them paid and start the paperwork for them, figure out how it works, and then know it for your next client. And then that gets the momentum, that gets the ball rolling for you, and it builds up your confidence a little bit.
Yeah, and you have a 7 o'clock meeting too, right, on Zoom?